there's the reason behind that guy being here. Find a friend, Togedemaru, and we do not have him. Alt would also be a good one to have. But we're finishing here with the Wigglytuff on this side. So I say that really weird. We got an ignition energy there. Hey guys, Jojosaur here. Welcome back to the channel. You guys know what time it is. We're continuing with our Phantasmal Flames phase. We're gonna go ahead and keep going with our booster box of Phantasmal Flames, but we also have something else to go with it. We have our sleeved packs. We have 36 of these bad boys. Obviously our Gengar, Lopunny, Heracross, and Charizard protagonizing these. But we got 36 of these as well. We're gonna do 4 rounds, 9 after 9. We're gonna see how it goes, but make sure to stick around and see what we get. So we're gonna go ahead and start with our 9 from the booster box. So 9 right here. Let's go quickly through these, see what we get, and we're just gonna go next to our sleeved ones. We got the sleeves all from one spot, and so we're gonna have those all together. Code for y'all. There we go. And we're just gonna go straight to the back, see what it happens. But this is the booster box first, so whatever we get here will kind of give us a sign of what's possibly going to come in the booster box. If we don't get anything really worthwhile at the start, I'm not really complaining with the booster box when that happens, because that leaves our possibilities for later on, meaning we could get some stuff later on. But again, sometimes it just ends up happening that way, where the big stuff ends up coming out first. But we'll see how this ends up giving us a show or not, because at the same time, first time seeing this guy, Empoleon EX. Why am I really focusing on this? Because it is the first time we've seen it opening, at least in the videos, and I think he's going to be a pretty meta card. So pretty weird that a card that you think is going to be meta shows up actually very few, just like the Dawn card. And Piplup was a Dawn Pokemon, so there's the reason behind that guy being here. Find a friend, Togedemaru, and we do not have him. Obviously, very cute card as well, so he is getting sleeved immediately. The EXs don't get sleeved immediately usually here anymore, because not really worthwhile in that sense. And Togedemaru is a card we do not have. He is cute as well, so immediate sleeve for him. Let's just keep it on. We have one sleeping, and then we have one creeping right there in the background. So let's see. Still good to be getting these cards that we have not pulled. Obviously, Master Set is the big point of this stuff. We're trying to get the Master Set. Obviously, we're just on our 3rd video, I think. Go back and see the other 2 if you haven't checked those out. But we're getting... Basically, we're done with the reverses. I don't think we have any other reverses that we need. We got all the reverses. So, reverse and holo are down for, which sometimes is the hardest thing to do. But now we are going after the big pricey boys, which the pricey boys are just both Charizards. You can see them on the screen. The Alt Charizard and the Hyper Rare Charizard. Those are the big boys that we're going after. Another EX. Other than that, everything else is pretty obtainable, honestly. The 3rd price card at the moment of this video is Dawn, and Dawn is 58 bucks. So not horribly expensive, not really expensive at all if you compare it to other cards, but only 2 really pricey cards here in this set at the moment are the Charizards. The full art Charizards getting up there, basically almost at the point with Dawn, but Charizard is going to be the entire reason for this set, obviously. But 3 hits in those 9 packs, 2 EXs, and an illustration rare. So now our first 9 of these sleeved cards. Again, the thing here with sleeved is that you never know what you're going to be getting, because here you could very well likely get an alt and get another alt right after it. So we don't know how these bad boys are going to turn out. Just like in a booster box, supposedly the hit rate ain't guaranteed or anything like that, but you're kind of expecting some good stuff to come out of it. At least 12 hits and above. In the 2 that we've opened up, one was 13, one was 16, but neither absolutely neither of them had a SIR in them, which again doesn't mean you're assured with a booster box, but kind of hoping for that. Another Togedemaru versus Togedemaru, throne after throne for both of these guys here. So that's kind of funny in my eye. We didn't have either. Now we have one on both sides right there, pit up against each other. But again, like we're saying, we're just doing comparison here, and we're just trying to get cards from the master set that we're needing. So let's keep it going. But got our Togedemaru and our Togedemaru on both sides. One illustration rare, which with these here in the sleeve, we could get another one and another one. So that's the thing with the sleeved. Nothing is the limit here at this point. Can't really tell if we're gonna get other cards that are repeated. So we'll see how it ends up turning out. So far, just that, which is also something that can be happening. Just that being the only hit, but sometimes there are points where we have more hopes for our sleeved packs than the booster. Really depends on how it's going. Right now, the expectation is a little low from what we've seen so far, but not meaning that we can't get some other stuff to show up. So one more EX, and it's basically the same thing from a booster box and some sleeved packs. So 2 packs left here on the sleeved. Let's see how it turns out with our Reshiram and a Rotom. So a full art Rotom. There's the difference there. One of them is a full art instead of an EX. And let's see if in this last pack get something a little more interesting. If we do get more than we got in our booster, which sometimes the boosters are super loaded on one side than on the other, but hey, it did. 2 EXs. The only difference here is we got a full art. And straight into our next 9 of the booster box. Let's see what ends up showing up here. Because again, with the booster box, we are a little bit more measured. But we'll see if we have luck or not. Either way, with an alt. We got the alt. I honestly was not expecting that here in this booster box. And yes, it is an alt, even if you guys probably don't think it is. It is our alt Rotom. We do not have it. The only alt we had was Dawn, but alt Rotom EX. Love the colors. The art really doesn't make me think it's an alt, but still very beautiful card nonetheless, and it's definitely taking down our Togedemaru, going right there on the throne. Our beautiful Rotom boy, another alt down. This set only has 5 alts, so we have 3 more to go. Okay, so let's keep it going with our next one. First pack of that next 9, so that means the alt from this one is taken down. Doesn't mean that we can't get a hyper rare. Obviously the hyper rare here is the Charizard, is the only one here in this set. So we'll see how that ends up turning with this video. Maybe we don't even get it here on this side, maybe we get it on the sleeve side. We don't know, we don't ever know. That's why pretty interesting to see getting different kinds of stuff. We did get our alt there, so can't say our booster box was a pretty dumb one. And this one has an alt, not an alt, this one has a full art right there as well. 3 hits already from this side of 9, and I think that was just the first 3 packs as well. So goes to show you, either one side is loaded or the other is pretty empty in the end. You never know how these types of things turn out. So going pretty good, happy with an alt, so can't say we can't be pulling alts in these times as well. Pretty good there. Now what we have left here on this side, and we'll get another illustration where we're missing out on. We're still missing out on some full arts, so we'll see how that goes as well. But we got the boy Rotom, one we didn't have, so very good to pull. Obviously, if you compare price-wise, very, in comparison to Charizard, very on the low end. But still, nice card. We don't have it. Now, we don't need it after this one. So whatever ends up coming out now with the next ones will be good cards to have for trade nonetheless. So, last 2 packs here for this side of the booster. We'll see how it goes with the sleeve afterwards. If it'll do the same thing, hey, we pulled the Togedemaru. Maybe we'll pull another Rotom as well from those 9 sleeves. We never know. It's a possibility. It could happen. It's not like it's impossible, but a better alt would also be a good one to have. But we're finishing here with the Wigglytuff on this side. So, Wigglytuff, Full Art, EX, and Alt. We had all the rarities except our Hyper in that round. So, our next 9 of our sleeved. Let's see how this outcome comes to be with what we're seeing with our booster box. Pretty good turnout there for that. So, hopefully we get lucky enough that we get something worthwhile here as well. Obviously, there are illustration rares here that are worthwhile as well, like Meowth, like Piplup. That Wigglytuff is actually pretty good as well. So, if we get any of those in these sleeved as well, we can't really complain with that. If we get lucky enough to get an alt, even if we pull the Dawn is already the one we've pulled, but I think other than Charizard, there's a Wigglytuff. Damn. So there's our Wigglytuff illustration rare. Same illustration repeated here from the sleeved and our booster box. So Togedemaru, I was considering the Wigglytuff, but obviously wasn't going to take down the alt. Now that we have it here, you guys can see it in all its glory. So goes to show you, you never know what's going to end up coming in these sleeves, because after getting it from the freaking booster box, we got it in the sleeved as well. So, very different possibilities happening here. Got our Ambipom. If we get an alt here, so that goes to show you, a booster box can have that stuff, but sleeved can also have these things as well. In the end, we don't know how it'll turn out. We have another 2 rounds of our sleeves, so maybe they're saving it to the best at the end. Who knows? But so far, so great. Already dope hit there with our Rotom. And these illustration rares are nice ones as well. Togedemaru we didn't have, like I said. But Wigglytuff we did. Now, even more comparison to make for which one is the best looking one. Because we do check that out. If it's lined good, the state of the card, all those kinds of things do matter. Not because we send it to grading or anything, just because obviously if you're going to get a card, you're going to get the one that you like the best. So there's our 2 packs left. So far, not so great. We've gotten just that Wigglytuff out of these 9 sleeved, which is totally a possibility. Not meaning that we're not happy with it, but at the same time, it does kind of change the mood from going from an alt box in the booster box to this where we only got a Wigglytuff. So let's see if we only get a Wigglytuff. Our Carvanha, and we only got a Wigglytuff. So let's keep it going with the next 9 of our booster box right here. Let's see how this one goes. Now that we don't have that tension of the alt, now we're just gonna hope to get something else worthwhile here. So we could have the hyper rare be in these packs. Our Mega Sharpedo, I don't know. I think both sound pretty bad, so whatever. But that's our first card of him being pulled, I think. Other than that, I don't know. You guys will call me in those comments. But we do have the pin of him. And there's our Mega Charizard right after him. So, Mega Charizard's a good one. Obviously, I think the ones that are going to be played the most are Sharpedo and Empoleon. But obviously, each of these has their own thing. I'm not one that makes the decks or plays. So, obviously, there's going to be things that each person is going to be looking out for, how to combat against a different deck, and those types of things. So we'll see how that goes based on what we see in videos, regionals, people going to competitions, blah, blah, blah. Everything can be different for everyone. But there's our Rotom EX. So far, just 3 EXs here on the next part of the booster, meaning that we could be going on the dry spell there, where now we're just getting the EXs that we're missing. Maybe we'll get an illustration rare in a bit. We shall see. There's our code. And our next 3 with Yamper, Apom, and Palmot. It is getting pretty dry now. We have those 3 EXs, and knowing ratios out of 9 packs, 3 hits, that's already 30%. We might not be getting another thing. We could, because again, we had a box with 16 hits. So either this is going to be a heavier box or a pretty light one, depending on, hey, you got an alt, and then previous box we got was 16. Check that video out. We got 16 hits, but we didn't get an alt. We did get some very interesting illustration rares, so you need to check that one out. But here, our last pack of 9, our 3rd of the box. We have one more round after this one for the booster box, but let's see how this one goes with our last 3, being Seviper, Gramble, hey, and a Sacred Charm. Full art, we don't have it, so nice little addition there. It looks pretty cool too, like that the shining off of the jewel. So nice addition, 4 hits in that one. So our next one, this one's of the sleeved. We'll have one more of each to go, and Will was just telling me we got the cheapest of the alts. Even though it's an alt, Rotom is the lesser of all of them. So lesser in price, obviously he's still an alt. He is still very much needed. But out of the 5, again, there's only 5 alts in this set. Out of the 5, he is the least valuable at this point. Right there, price on the screen, so you guys can see that one. But Piplup in the sleeve, very good. Good one to pull again. Piplup is also a very high value illustration rare in comparison to alts. I don't know, let's see. I'll compare these two. The alts right there of Rotom and the Piplup illustration rare at the time of recording. At the time of editing, actually. You guys will see which one ended up being more valuable. But again, right here, value is part of the thing. But in the end, we're trying to get the master set. So just pulling cards that we haven't would be the best. Obviously, this set being as small as it is, with like 132 cards, we're definitely gonna get repeats in it. So we'll see how it ends up turning out. We got a lot of Piplups or Meowths, can't really complain there either. Very sought after illustration rares. But again, we are just starting off the week of Phantasmal Flames release. So we'll see how that ends up changing, if it does or doesn't, or it stays how it is, because again, Charizard is what is moving this entire thing here. So last 4 here, 4 more to go for our sleeve. Piplup being the only thing so far. Again, we could have another Wigglytuff thing where only the Wigglytuff was the hit. So can't really say. You're not forewarned with sleeved. You could have good stuff, you could have nothing in comparison, because again, when you go to the booster box at least amount wise, you're gonna get some, at least 12. You could get anywhere from 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 hits. But here in sleeved, not really assured anything. If you go by the ratio, 36, you would probably get 12. But in the end, you could also get way below that, because again, you're not assured anything here with the sleeved. Got our Gloom and the Jumbo Ice Cream, and so far just Piplup there. Let's see if we can get one more thing to show up at least here with our sleeved packs. Our last one of the 9. Let us see how it turns out with our Yamper. And damn, just Piplup there as well. So our last 9 here for the booster box. Let's see how we end up finishing with this box. Do we get lucky enough that we get our hyper rare, our only hyper rare in the set here in this booster box? No, but we got a Paldean Wooper, very cute card as well. Doesn't mean we're not gonna get the hyper rare, but there's our little Wooper boy. Wooper boy gonna go in the back because again, I'm not gonna take down our Rotom. He's been there. Usually what I do, 2 rounds, nothing else comes out, then I start switching them out. But unless we get a bigger card, I'm pretty sure our boy Rotom's gonna stay there for now. There's our 3. Got our Croc and Reshiram. But other than that, I don't really change them out mostly because right now we have 4 rounds in each. So I wait to see if in 1 round it stays on the throne, and then after 1 round of nothing, if nothing else comes out, I'll try switching them out for something. As long as rarity-wise, illustration, depending on the full art, because right now it's Mega Evolutions, I might switch him out, but he'll be staying there unless we get something bigger than an alt. Who knows, maybe we get another alt, which would be, I think, unlikely. I think it's never going to happen, and it shouldn't happen, but we've had a hyper rare and an alt in the box. We've had a lot of full arts in the box and still have the hyper rare and alts come out, so can't really say there aren't possibilities of getting another alt. Who knows though. There's our code, and there's our 3. After this we have 3 packs left, so we'll see if we get anything else worthwhile. Right now just Paldean Wooper and that Miss Magius, but let's see. We have 3 more. 3 more, could have 1 more in there, so we don't know. Let's see how this turns out with our booster box being our last thing here to show. Hopefully something worthwhile, or at least another full art, because I think only the Sacred Charm has been the full art. In previous ones we've had 2 full arts, 3 full arts, 4 full arts, so we'll see if we can get 1 more thing to show up here. Not, we got our alt like we wanted. There's our Mega Lopunny, so another EX, and Lopunny being here on our last pack. Let's see if we can have 1 more thing, or if that was it. You guys will be checking out right now with Battle Cage, and there's Ludicolo. We need Ludicolo. Very good. I love Ludicolo. Ludicolo, our little dancer. There's the gif of him dancing with his trainer. I don't know if I can find it. I'll put it right there for you guys, but very dope. Ludicolo, love the colors. Only thing missing for me would be having some other Pokemon in there while he's dancing, but beautiful card, finishing strong with the booster box, and only because he is the last hit, Ludicolo, and we need him, we'll go on the throne. So you could probably see what we're left with is our sleeved, and I did do this on purpose. We have 9 Charizard packs. Just to call out, I don't think we need more Charizard, as you guys can see in the background, to call him, but we got 9 Charizard packs. Let's see how this rolls. If we get lucky enough, or hey, comes the breaks, and we just get what we get. But starting with Toxel and a Lopunny being our first one, our EX, not great. Not starting off strong right there. If we started with a Charizard EX, that would kind of be the thing to do, but at this time we'll see how it'll go for us. Got our, these are just sleeved again, so we could have something, we could have nothing, just like anything else. Again, the booster box ended up giving us an alt, but could have very well not given us that alt, but we'll see how it ends up turning out. Got our Darumaka and a Mega Gengar as well. We need a Mega Heracross and we need a Mega Charizard to show up as well. And then we'd have all the 4 Pro tags, but again, in their regular EX form, kind of a letdown there. Mega Sharpedo. Imagine getting all the megas and none of the big cards to show up here. But them's the breaks, guys. Got a couple left here. Like 4 more. Getting some hits out of these guys. 3 EXs. Got 4 packs left. Let's see how it turns out. We obviously, again, we're just trying to do the master set, but there is the chase there as well. We want to see cards that are good. We want to see the big hits, obviously, but depending on luck, if we get it or not, we shall see. There's our 3, and we got 2 packs left after this, so Mega Heracross. Wow. And now with what we have and what I've said, I kind of do just want to pull that Mega Charizard, the regular EX, because 4 EXs so far. That's basically nothing in comparison to what we've been pulling from everything, but now that he's the only one missing, an Ignition Energy. I say that really weird. We got an Ignition Energy there, and our last pack, last Charizard pack. We have 5 hits here in our last round. The one with the most hits so far. Let's see if we finish strong with Mega Heracross. 6 hits in that last one. Freaking hell. So total, guys, we got 15 in our booster box and 12 in our sleeves. I'm going to go through our sleeve real quick because, again, these are where we did get not much of anything. We got 7 EXs. Got 2 full arts. Ignition Energy and our Rotom. And we got 3. 2 of them are repeated. Togedemaru and Wigglytuff. And then here we got our Piplup, which I'm going to give, not really, never mind. I'm not going to give anything because we were missing one of the cards that came out in the booster box, and I actually really like it. So I'm going to give that one the crown. But our booster box has, obviously, our EXs. We have 7 EXs, 8 EXs in total. 15 hits total here. Ignition Energy and Sacred Charm. Then we got a repeat here of Togedemaru, Wigglytuff, Paldean Whooper, very nice one to get. But the one I'm talking about for the silver crown is the King of Dance. Our Ludicolo, he gets that silver one. But obviously, even though he is the least, he is still an alt. He takes the gold crown. Our Rotom takes that one. But that's been the video, guys, and I've been Georgisaur. Please let me know what you thought of the video. Leave a like, a comment, a subscribe. Helps with the channel. Go ahead and share as well so we can have more people join the community and seeing the types of hits that we are getting. But that's been it. Have a good morning, good afternoon, and a good night whenever you're watching. Peace out.